the EU because their commission is set to amend a founding text to forcefully enshrine the rights of minorities and fight violence and hate against those minorities, which include women and those in the LGBT community.
Well, this plan, which could be signed off today, would criminalise hate speech and violence through EU-wide rules. Now, the rules would enable the Commission to put forward laws to punish misogyny and anti-LGBTQ plus abuse online and offline.
Yeah.
Well, it is one of those interesting issues again, isn't it? We've had things like that rear its head over here about hate speech and what is hate speech, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Because there are clear-cut levels of hate, which are, you know, violence, etc., that kind of thing. It's very clear-cut when somebody has committed a racially aggregated act of violence or whatever. Often it's clear-cut. But what does hate speech mean? Because does it entail, for example, being critical of those in the LGBTQ movement, for example? Because some people do consider that as hate speech. What we were talking about earlier about a trans swimmer who's beaten the records of these women, biological female swimmers, and it's me saying that I don't think that should be allowed, that trans men should be allowed to compete with is that hate speech? So I don't think the EU should be enforcing this across sort of all the nations under the EU. I think it should be left to nation states to decide.
Well, I think it should be left to nation states to decide, but it's a really tricky one because I think there was one recently, it was only a couple of weeks ago actually, where some female students at Cambridge University said that when a photographer, an event that they were having, said, can some men help these women off stage, you know, and apparently they felt threatened by this and stuff. So if this is where the bar is now, you know, what is hate speech to some people? You know, can you say anything? It's a concern, but at the same time, obviously, you know, has to be some stuff in place, doesn't it, to stop people, you know, being violent towards people and stuff like that, you know?